Well, hello, bookish friends. Rebecca here, your friendly neighborhood dragon librarian from Farmington Community Library. And I'm here today with Gally to talk to you about a couple books by one particular author that I think are absolutely wonderful to read this time of year. They're absolutely mesmerizing. Now, you can read them any time of year, honestly. They're really, really good. In fact, my first experience with this author was over the summer. But they tend to be very creepy and have these dark undertones. So if you are looking for something to read, we are now in the very last full week of October, right? So Halloween is early next week. So if you're looking for one more spooky book to carry you over into Halloween, you might want to pick something from this author who I have really grown to love. So the author that I'm talking about is Catriona Ward, who has this twisted, brilliant mind and is just so excellent with these twisty endings. So if you want to start with her very first book, The Girl from Raw Blood is the very first book that she wrote. Now, I like this one a lot, but that's not the one I want to talk about today. The two that I want to talk to you about today, the first one is called Little Eve, okay? Now, this one takes place in Scotland, and it tells the story of this family of hermits, really, that live in this old, like, secluded, basically, estate, like this castle, okay? So they're prepping for the end of the world. They believe that this huge snake god is going to come out of the water and destroy the world, basically. So they've been prepping for that. Well, everything starts to come apart a little bit when this police inspector comes to investigate a murder that has happened in the village. So once he begins prodding and once he starts to, understand a little bit about what is going on with this family in this castle, their ideology starts to unravel. And so do the characters themselves start to unravel. So Eve is one of the characters that we see through her point of view, and she is desperate to believe this religion that her, the people she lives with has taught her. But when she starts to doubt that and when she starts to believe otherwise, that's when things start to get a little bit crazy, and there is a huge ritual that goes very, very wrong. And in fact, the beginning of the story is such a great hook because it starts with that ritual gone wrong. So you're basically kind of starting near the end, right in the beginning, giving you a hint of, look, this is what's going to happen. And then it goes back, and it goes back and forth between different points of view. So there is definitely a couple twists in this book that were absolutely wonderful. I did not see them coming. If you're looking for like a dark, atmospheric story, Little Eve is really great. Great thriller, great spooky story. There's a lot to unpack here psychologically as well. You'll be thinking about it for quite a while. Now, the next book I want to talk about is the book that I think this author is most famously known for. And it's also the first book I read by her. And I read it, like I said, over the summer because I was reading different thrillers, and I had heard from some of my friends that this one was really good and that it had a really big shock of a twisty ending. So which one is this? This is called The Last House on Needless Street. Now, this is a very interesting premise, which is there's this old boarded up house on this street, and in it live three people. There is a man who forgets a lot of stuff, watches a lot of TV, and keeps watch. There is a teenage girl who is not allowed outside anymore because of what happened last time she was, and also a cat who likes to read the Bible. And when they get a new neighbor, that's when their secrets, the three people living in this house, their secrets start to come apart because the three of them share in a very big, big secret, and it starts to all come apart. This book, I would say, other than Gone Girl, which at the time it came out, blew my mind with its twisty ending. I think that this one is about on par with that, if not even more, in terms of, oh my gosh, what did I just read? I have to go back and reread this because what? The ending of this is so completely not what I was thinking was going to happen at all that it blew my mind. I mean, it blew it straight to the moon. I could not even believe what was going on at the end of this book. And I think when most people talk about this book, that's what they're talking about, is the ending, and they're like, oh my gosh, did you get to the ending? But much like Little Eve and her other works as well, there's a lot of other stuff to unpack psychologically with this story. So it's not just a scary story. It's not just a thriller. It's not just a book you're going to pick up, read, finish it, and then never think about it again. I read this over the summer, and I'm still thinking about it. I'm still thinking about Little Eve as well. It's fantastic. I can't even describe it any other way than that. It is so twisty and full of secrets and darkness, and it's perfect to read this time of year. But like I said, you don't have to, because I didn't, and it was still wonderful. But if you are looking for something that's going to give you a shock, if you're looking for something that's got this twist and this thrills, read this one, because it's absolutely phenomenal. I can't recommend it enough. It is so dark and twisty and amazing. And that is The Last House on Needless Street. I guarantee you're not going to guess the ending of this. But if you are, let me know, because I will have to shake your hand, because that means you're amazing. Last House on Needless Street. So that's who I wanted to talk about today, the wonderful Catriona Ward. Please feel free to pick up one of her books. The Farmington Community Library has them at both branches. Put a hold on them if you like. They are absolutely wonderful. You can't go wrong with Catriona Ward. And thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like. Have a great day, guys.